Harold Lamos.
Here.
Casey Barney.
Here.
Fran Newton here. Teja Singha Shivalingam is not with us, and nor is Lee Sharps. May we say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get started, I'd like to read a note that should be read for the public. This is to the Board of Selectmen. I want to thank the fire department for the great care they gave to my wife, Kathy, when she was ill. A special thanks to Chief Steve Heath for the kindness, comfort, and professional care that he has shown. The town of Ashland should be proud to have one of the finest departments in the area, and I know that's how I feel. I was very proud and touched when they showed up at the wake. Thanks again, Norman Marsh, Jeff Marsh, and family. And this came to the selectmen. So thank you, Steve, and please extend our thanks and gratitude to your department. We have a visitor with us tonight, Attorney Steve Whitley, who's come to talk to us about the site access agreement, and he has requested that this portion of the meeting be held in non-public. So I'm going to ask if those of you could step out briefly. We'll call you back in when it's over. However, I'm asking Dave Toth, who's chair of the Water and Sewer Department, to stay with us because that also concerns him. Okay. Thank you. Apologize for the delay. We discussed the current site access agreement with Attorney Whitley, and we have come to the decision that with his help, he's going to write an amended version of this access agreement to only cover, at this point, engineering studies, which will not impact any kind of construction or road redevelopment or anything like that. It's just to allow them to do the necessary engineering to get data, which we all need, so that they'll know and we'll know what we're up against. And then we will review that when we get an amended agreement and go from there. So again, Attorney Whitley, thank you so much for coming. Okay. Approvals. We have some minutes to approve. First of all, we need to go back to November 7th. At that meeting, we discussed the new appointments to the TAC, the Transportation Advisory Committee through LRPC. And at that time, we agreed that Tim Paquette would be a new representative and Dave Toth would stay on that committee. We neglected to put it in the minutes, so we need to amend that just to ensure that we have that in writing. We have reviewed the video and we did in fact approve Dave Toth's appointment to that TAC committee. So can I have a motion to officially appoint Dave Toth to the TAC committee, to amend the minutes to include this appointment?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the minutes of November 7th as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, March 6th. The only comment I have is that in the discussion from the 4th of July committee, when Amanda Loud presented the issues, she said that because of increasing expenses and decreasing revenues, that this will be the last year. I think it's more than that. There was also the bigger problem was that we're not
Lack
getting
of
enough people
volunteers.
to coming to help, and I think that needs to be in the minutes.
I had that too,
Yeah.
lack of volunteers.
Yeah,
I should
and that
say.
was the bigger concern because
Yes.
they've been able to sustain it with the money. But if you don't have volunteers out there to do the work, it's just not going to get done. So
Yeah, Whiteley's name's spelled wrong
Yeah.
too.
And
Whitley.
in that same paragraph at the
Mm-hmm.
end, it should say, Chairman Newton thanked the committee and the board is sorry that it won't be able
Yes,
to continue.
yes, absolutely. Thank you, Lee. Any other comments, corrections?
Yeah, I just had
Okay.
a couple little
Sure.
ones. Under site access and entry agreement, under
Mm-hmm.
the L-chip grant, it should say, would like an opinion from Attorney Steve Whitley.
Okay. Yep.
And then under select board items, Chairman Newton explained the right to know law, citing a letter received by Lamos under select board items.
Yeah.
It doesn't refer to anything.
Well, it wasn't a letter, it was an email. it was in reference to an email that was a reply to all, so it wasn't a letter.
Okay,
And that's what prompted the discussion. It was just a reminder of what constitutes right to know.
and under the last sentence, Chairman Newton would like it should be other town
Yes.
committee chairs
Absolutely. Thank you, Lee.
instead of just the
Yep.
committee. That's it.
Anything else? Okay, hearing no more, is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 6th as amended?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Next is March 20th. Any comments, corrections?
I wasn't here, so.
Oh, you weren't here, okay. Harold, Casey, any comments? Okay, hearing nothing, I would like a motion to approve the minutes of March 20th as written.
A motion.
Is there a second? I'll second it. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Okay, we have a couple of volunteers who want to be appointed to various committees. Yay! Susan McLeod has asked to be reappointed to the Ashland Heritage Commission. Can I have a motion to appoint Susan McLeod to the Heritage Commission?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Susan. Michelle Fistick.
Wait, David Rule too.
Oh, David
David
Rule.
Rule,
Okay,
yeah.
that's not on my list. David Rule has also asked to be on the Heritage Commission. Thank you, David. Is there a motion to approve David Rule for the Heritage Commission?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we also have a letter from former Selectman Steve Felton, who would like to continue on the Economic Development Committee. And I have a motion to
Nice.
appoint Steve to the Economic Development Committee.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and Michelle Fistick has agreed to serve on the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Can I have a motion to approve Michelle Fistick for the ZBA?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I have this, I will sign this, and if you can all sign it, and Michelle, if you can go to Town Hall at some point and get sworn in, that would be great. And thank you very much, appreciate you stepping up. Okay, Charlie, do you want to talk about the commissioner position?
Yeah, we'll talk about another thing. I was talking to LRPC, and the town has 2 open positions for basically a town commissioner with LRPC. Apparently, it hasn't been reappointed since the last person. I don't know if the time was done or they stepped down. But basically, it's a appointed position where they are voting members for LRPC. They vote on their board. They get treasurer reports and make decisions on LRPC's budget. Our point of contention really is it's a point person for the town, that intermediary for what's happening with LRPC and for the town and with the board.
Yeah. And I believe you have a nominee?
Yep, David.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has agreed to be appointed.
Okay, and I can tell you that this is a really important position
Yeah.
because it has opened up so many doors for this town in
Yeah.
terms of
Grants.
getting recognition from the LRPC grants. They're coming
Yeah.
into our town and, you know, they want to help us out. So having a representative there is really important. So is there a
Yes.
motion to appoint David Toth as the commissioner to the LRPC?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, congratulations, Dave. We have a lot of other boards, and vacancies on commissions, budget committee, you name it. So we're really looking for
Yeah.
people to step up.
Yeah, so I could read that list
Okay,
for the
please
public.
do.
And the town clerk wants to know whether or not the board wants her to reach out to a couple of these appointments that are due to expire. The planning board has 3 alternate vacancies open. Zoning board has a full vacant and 2 alternate vacancies. Conservation has 1. The Housing Standard Board has 2 vacancies. Economic Development has 3. Heritage Commission has 3 alternate vacancies. I was going to place an ad in the paper. I thought we could also put an ad at PBTV to see if we can, get these filled.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Charlie.
Sounds good.
Yeah, please give it some thought. Okay, Charlie, you want to talk about Health Trust?
Yeah, we have our contract for board to sign.
Okay,
It's
can you tell us about it?
So Health Trust, how it works is they run on a fiscal year, and we are a calendar year. So during budget season, Health Trust gives towns an initial group health insurance rate. Ours was 12.9%. They revisit that rate in March, unfortunately, pretty much after town meeting, to redetermine what the rate actually be. They look at the claims, the use, et cetera, determine, okay, where are we on that scale? Are we going to get the high max 12.9%, or is it going to lower? Ours lowered significantly,
Nice.
from 12.9 to 5.3%.
Wow.
We
Wow.
budgeted
That's
for that, so we'll save a little bit on the insurance.
Excellent.
Nice.
So
Still going up 5%.
Yeah, well,
than last year,
but not as much.
13, so.
We'll take whatever good news we
Yeah,
can.
13.
So I should be the one to sign this?
Sure.
We don't need a motion for this. I mean, we're obligated
Yeah.
for this insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. Today is the 3rd. Thank you. Okay, here you go, Charlie. Thank you. Okay, LRPC assessment program, underutilized property.
So I had another meeting with LRPC, Novus Engineering, and NHDS about the Brownfield study that they've been doing with a couple of the mill buildings in town. I don't know, Fran, you wanted to talk about
Sure.
that further?
As you know, we received a grant from DES a while back to do a Phase 2 Brownfield study, specifically in the Scott Heath building, the white building, that we could take for taxes. So this was a follow-up to that meeting to discuss what the next steps are, what they're going to be doing exactly in this Brownfields assessment. LRPC joined that meeting because they would like to add on to that study. So they were asking about maybe additional properties or what more they could do. This is really, really exciting thing for the town. It's going to hopefully pave the way for making that property available at some point for development. Either, they'll decide if it needs to be torn down. Hopefully we can get a grant for the actual planning of the next steps. But Phase 2 is essential if you're ever going to get economic development, if you're ever going to get anyone interested in buying that building. So, and this is at zero cost to Ashland. So again, this is really, really good. And so it was just a follow-on meeting.
Yeah, and one of the things LRPC's asked from us, which I hope I can get board approval tonight, is to fill out a property site form for this Brownsfield, because funding for Novus and NHDS is sort of drying up a little bit, and LRPC has further funding to continue
Right.
the study.
Right.
It's 100% provided, funding is provided by LRPC. It's nothing that the town pays for.
Right.
Essentially, for the public, what happens is this study really tells you where you're at with your property, and then it also determines what the next step would be. You know, they provide cost estimate to clean it up if it needs to be. LRPC told us since we've been so involved, we would get top priority in this process. This application does, there are certain ranks, and we would probably get escalated a little bit because we're so far along with the project. But we need to get the form in to them.
Is this, I mean, they talked about a charrette to actually discuss ways to develop that property. Is this leading to that?
Jeff didn't tell me anything
Okay.
on those lines.
Okay.
You know, he did say if there was cleanup that needed to be done,
Yeah.
you know, they might have access to funding for that.
Yeah, several years ago, we had a charrette that basically looked at the lower village and especially our strange intersections with 132, 25, and 3. But there's possibility of having another design charrette through Plain, New Hampshire at the mill property, because part of our problem is we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know where to go with it. So we also discussed at that meeting, in the past, the Economic Development Committee gathered the mill owners, and for the first time ever, I think, and there was a big meeting to discuss their thoughts on the whole property. And so it would be beneficial to LRPC and to DES to have another meeting. So we're going to see if we can arrange that. Alright.
Prior to this meeting, did you send out an email to either the chair or the vice chair of the Conservation Commission? I only ask because this building sits on top of a river that's in their scope of view.
It was Novus's meeting.
Yeah.
In regard to our brownfield?
Yes.
Well,
it-
because they already had.
They already
access.
gave us the grant, and
Yeah.
and Novus was awarded the contract to
Yeah.
do the
Yeah,
brownfields.
yeah.
So-
With NHDS.
Yeah. So they'll be assessing groundwater, they'll be assessing the materials in the
Yeah.
building. There's no construction going on.
Well, the
It's just a-
groundwater you can light on fire. I mean,
Well,
that's-
they'll find that out,
Certain
but they will
folks
be,
right in
they will be not be doing anything in the river. I mean, obviously, there's an awareness that this building sits right on top of the river, and it's an environmental disaster waiting to happen, which is why we need this taken care of. So,
I just wanted to
but
make
this
sure
is a
we
grant.
weren't the only people that didn't get an email about the meeting until after it happened.
Well, it wasn't a meeting for the select board, it was a meeting for Novus to talk to DES and to LRPC. And Mardine and Eli and Dave and I wrote the original grant, and Mardine and Eli wrote the secondary grant. Steve Heath was there because he's had a lot of familiarity with the pollutants in the building, some nasty barrels that got removed. So they just wanted to find out what we knew. Eli Badger has obviously a very long history with the mill, and he knows quite well what's there. So it was just to get information from those of us who've been involved for a long time.
Is anything that's in the preview of DES is in the preview of the Conservation Commission, that's why I ask. We have to answer to them, and conversely, anything that happens in our town that they're involved with, we're notified or supposed to be notified.
I can't speak why Mike didn't contact the Conservation Commission. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I did let LRPC know that we have 2 new selectmen. That, you know, I'm generally new to this project too. And you know, he said anytime that the board wants to sit down with Novus, Tim Andrews from Novus Engineering, and LRPC, they were more than willing and ready to.
Well, at some
set that
point,
up.
they'll give us a contract to review with us the scope of work. And that's up to Novus to provide a contract to DES. And nothing is signed, nothing is done until we review that. So there's really no need to review it at this point, so.
That's fine. I was just
Okay.
awry when I was hearing things like fourth party and economic development meeting like 2 hours after.
Well, I announced as I'm announcing here tonight, I announced that for economic development because clearly it's related to economic development.
Thank you for appointing yourself as a liaison.
So can I, you want me to
No, go ahead.
fill out this form and send it to LRPC?
What's on the form?
It's a Lakes Region Planning Commission Assessment Program Underutilized Property Site Inventory Nomination Form.
And what is the result of getting that form signed?
This is to get in line for the
To get in line for the
funding
grant, okay.
yeah.
Is there any concern with Charlie filling out that? No?
Go ahead.
I don't think there's any harm in that, so please go ahead and fill it
go
out,
ahead.
Charlie. Okay, anything else under, okay, old business. Anything under old business? We don't have anything on the agenda. Okay, new business, obviously, we've already talked to Steve Whitley. The next item is the SEIU Local 1984 and signing of the Employee Collective Bargaining Agreement. Charlie?
Neil.
Neil?
May I sit?
Please do.
I thought that I saw Sandra Coleman out in the hallway. If
I
somebody wanted
thought
to
I did too.
wave to her.
Sandra.
George, you have a pen? I have one over on the end of that counter right there. Thank you. If you want to sign it.
History is being made.
I'm sorry?
History is being made.
This is really exciting.
So if you wanted to get, that's Harold at the end, so if you want to take that down to.
Yeah, you have to
Anyone
sign
say
something.
sign?
I was not invited to the last two meetings, so therefore I will not sign the contract.
Okay. Yep, I just Harold them.
And it's not that I oppose the contract, I am all for the contract, but because as part of the union negotiating team, I was not invited.
Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harold.
All right, so you have an original.
Excellent. Thank you.
And, yep, so Harold needs to sign both of those too. And then
Okay.
we'll have an original, and we'll leave an extra copy for you, and then if you wanted to make a
Fantastic.
copy for your other two commissions, your water department and your
Okay,
electric.
excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Neil.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. Did you want the rest of
And
the
I
board
want
to
to
sign?
personally thank.
So,
Oh, go
so the
ahead.
only one that was
Harold.
present was Harold.
Just Harold,
And
okay.
so that was the only signature line that I put
Yeah,
on.
okay.
But,
So I want to personally thank Harold Lemos and
Yes.
Steve Felton for their hard work on getting this union contract negotiated.
Yes.
I think we're all very happy with the contract and good work.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you very much. Charlie, nice to meet you. All right.
Do you want me to take a copy? We have to file that.
Yeah.
Neil said within 15 days.
Okay. Excellent, that's really good. Okay, any other new business? Nope, okay, hearing none. Select board items. New Hampshire Representative Jeff Shackett resignation from the New Hampshire House. Charlie, you have more information on that?
Yeah, we received a letter from the town of Bristol that Representative Jeff Shackett has resigned his New Hampshire House seat that covers Bristol and the town of Ashland.
Okay,
The town of Bristol is, I'd say, not for holding a special election for this, as basically by the time they did it in May, the session ends in June.
okay. So that just means we don't have a representative?
Yep.
Okay, so this is
Unless you want to
just,
have the special election for,
I don't think so. Anybody want a special election? Yeah, very expensive. I don't think it's in our budget, but thank you for that.
do you want me to let Bristol know?
Yeah.
Yes.
The next has to do with reorganization of the board, which we still haven't done. We deferred it last week because, Lee, you weren't with us, and tonight Selectman Shivalingam is not with us, so I'm going to
have to do it
suggest that
again.
once again, we postpone this till we have a full 5-member board so that everybody's voice is heard. Is there
Yes.
any objection to that?
No.
Okay.
I would though like to make a motion
Yes.
that we appoint Fran Newton as interim chairman until we so name one,
For a second?
because we need one.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, well, I was sort of doing it anyway, but.
I know, but I thought we
I
made
know,
it
no,
legal.
that's good, Lee. I can always count on you to help us make it legal.
The only other thing is with the other committees, like I have a planning board meeting Wednesday night, and I
Yeah.
also have a river meeting next Tuesday, and
And until
If I'm
further
not-
notice, I would consider,
Just go?
or would say to go. We need a
Yeah.
representative.
I
And
can speak to that.
Okay.
There's an RSA 673:5. The ex officio member of the planning board, if it's the board, should be for that selectman's term.
Yeah. Oh, for the term.
For the term, it
Oh,
coincides.
so we don't need to
Yeah,
do
the
that
chair
again.
gave me that.
Oh,
for-
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well then,
Great,
sure
I'm
you're
all
going.
set.
Okay. So whether or not I'm an alternate remains to be seen, but that's good.
Okay.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that.
you're welcome.
Any other select board items?
I have one.
Okay.
As conservation liaison, I just wanted the townspeople to know that on April 6th, in the morning, the site evaluation committee will be visiting our town,
Oh, yeah.
and they will be having their break period at Dunkin' Donuts in town here at 10:40 to 10:50 a.m. And then they will convene down at Collins Street and the Squam River Crossing, and they shall be there from 11 to 11:15. So anybody who has any input or just wants to see the proceedings happen, those are the times that they will be there at those locations.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anything else? Okay, in that case, we don't have public comments on here, but I think we should open it up. We usually do for our first public meeting. Yes, Kathleen?
Kathleen Gould, Vice Chair of the Conservation Commission. I would like to hand out the RSAs that define the duties of the Conservation Commission, because it appears that some new members probably not familiar with it, and maybe even some of the old members do not realize what the RS entails. I could have one for you, if you can read that every night before you go to bed.
Thanks.
Already do, Kathleen, already do.
Thank you.
And read just to refresh
Thank
your
you.
memory,
Yep.
because it
Yeah, I got
does
that.
spell out, it's, here, take the bottom. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Yes, Michelle?
I'm a professor from the state, and I represent one of our clusters. We have a new way of organizing ourselves, and we're moving into project-based education. So I would like to invite any projects that you have, please get in touch with me. We can help out in research, whatever you need, let us know, and maybe we can work something out.
Excellent, that's really good to know. Thank you,
Yes.
Michelle.
Very good.
Anything else? In that case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
No.
We can have a non-public?
No, non-public.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, motion to go into non-public pursuant to, yes, you're right.
A,
RSA 91.
Yeah,
hyphen
91A,
colon
yeah,
3,
yes, sorry.
Comma 2.
Yeah,
2.
I'll make that.
all right. Is there a second?
I'll second that.